What I have noticed in the years I've been doing this, I have to use readers now. I guess that's just a sign of the time.
And you use ice now in your glass.
Yeah. But I'm very happy to report that we've just completed as an association our 141st consecutive year of operation in service to the university. And as we know, the Alumni Association was chartered over 3 centuries ago in 1873. We've had a great year, and the university's had a great year of progress. And we want to highlight the fact that this past year marked the storied return of E. Gordon Gee to campus as WVU's 24th president. As we know, Dr. Gee served WVU as president and earlier dean of the law school back in the very late 70s and the early 80s. Dr. Gee, and this is a factoid, he has served more universities and university presidencies than any other American. So that's quite a fact. Also in 2013-14, WVU went through a very important 10-year accreditation period, and all the institutions across the country have to go for that review. WVU was last accredited in 2004 and actually first accredited in 1926. And a milestone occurred with that accreditation for the Alumni Association with the fact that the Higher Education Learning and Review Team visited campus for about 2 days, and it actually gave the Alumni Association a special commendation for its responsiveness in programming and planning in service to the institution and engaging our many constituencies of the university. So that was very special for us. WVU continued to make great strides in academic quality and infrastructure, and just want to highlight new construction connected to campus. It continues to be maybe the only economic catalyst for West Virginia and certainly this area. If we look at the construction going on, recent and ongoing construction projects with the university as well as WVU Healthcare has put an economic impact of more than $1 billion in the Morgantown area, with nearly $700 million benefiting this county alone. And the many projects, and I won't go through them, it ranges from, for instance, an expanded parking lot of $665,000 to what WVU Healthcare is doing, which is $225 million in projects. And a recent study conducted by our College of Business through their economic research team, it actually highlighted the fact that of that $1 billion in the economy, they created 7,100 jobs and $35.7 million in new tax revenue to the state of West Virginia. So that's quite encouraging and quite exciting. I also want to mention we had about 7 new engagement first-time events, first-time programs at the Alumni Association. We first created a new President's Club, and that's going to help us provide financial support for communication initiatives we do, chapter outreach, travel expenses, which you know continues to go with our involvement in the Big 12, and it was done through a lead gift of Dan and Judy Richards, and we're very pleased, and we thank them for that lead gift. Also, as a part of some special things and new launches during the past year, we organized and chartered 3 new alumni international chapters, one in China, one in Taiwan, and one in Korea. So that now puts us at 6 chapters globally, and that's the highest we've ever done. We've also established a partnership for Legacy Weekend, where we invited back past siblings, grandparents, parents who had degrees with WVU, and we've invited their students to campus, and we're trying to actually recruit those students. They're all academic excellence scholars, and that was done in conjunction with the Office of Undergraduate Recruitment. We also developed a new plan for young alumni. As people know, young alumni have different interests and different initiatives. They prefer not to most likely go to a dinner that we go through or a long reception, so we've invited the young alumni to be a part of us in a happy hour format and a networking format, exchanging business cards, things like that. And we did 2 young alumni events in Charleston, West Virginia and Charlotte, North Carolina this past year. Want to continue that as well. We also distributed a WVU alumni directory that many of you probably have to 4,000 subscribers. 4,000 people took advantage of that, our newest version. It contained nearly 190,000 alumni in that booklet, and it was actually 1,618 pages. It was about as big as the New York City phone book. So there you go. We also took a look at the Alumni Center. The Alumni Center, of course, is our crown jewel of what we do programming and catering in. And to be more effective in marketing our conference and meeting spaces, we compiled 3 brand new marketing brochures. And then we've asked through the help we're going to help our people in Charleston, the Office of State and Corporate Relations, in developing a new advocates network to help go to Charleston and support the university. Membership, we had a consistent year in membership, $571,000 in membership revenue. Total membership for the year was 26,537 alumni and friends. Of that total, 13,961 graduates have joined as life members, and so we're happy about that. We had so many different kinds of segmented marketing for membership development in this year, and I will not go into that, but clearly it's the most we've ever done in terms of volume. Our Old Gold Club, which is beyond life membership, it's a sustaining fund for life members. It totaled $89,968 in this coming year. It's been into operation for 20 plus years. And so we want to thank Kevin Berry, who's our Associate Director. He's the head of membership. And Kevin, actually, there's a national group, a national membership group, Chairman, and Kevin is the chairman and president of that group. So we want to thank Kevin. We continue to have a comprehensive programming of services during the year. Our email networking piece with the foundations called Mountaineer Connection. We continue to do all of our segmented email marketing through the Mountaineer Connection, and we had more than 60 electronic communication pieces go out this year. Something that's very valuable to us as the university continues to enhance its recruiting efforts and increase their enrollment. We have a national alumni recruiting network that has been established for many years, and that will continue to ask alumni to recruit prospective students in particular high schools across the country. The one thing about it, WVU has a very small admission staff, so it really relies on volunteer help for recruiting students outside the state of West Virginia. We had a very nice 9-year partnership with the WVU libraries. We will continue that in terms of alumni being able to access our library system. We also are trying to help alumni secure jobs and find new jobs, and we have a relationship and collaboration with the Career Services Center there. Mountaineer Parents Club that we helped to find and form many years ago. We still have a partnership with Mountaineer Parents Club, and we had ring day ceremonies in both October and April of this past year, and we'll continue to forge that relationship even greater. Our 50-year class, or our 50-year reunion group, the Graduate Emeritus Club, it's now meeting this weekend at Lakeview, and it's their 63rd annual meeting. Bill Douglas of South Carolina now served as president during the past year. Ann Strader will succeed Bill, and she was the reunion coordinator this year. And then our president-elect is John Strong, all with strong Alumni Association communications and relationships. Our Loyalty Permanent Endowment Fund, and we want to take a little bit of time to think about this. It just completed its 77th year of service to the university. It was founded in 1937. That's a long way, more than 70 years ago, of course. And we now have assets totaling in the endowment fund of over $13 million. We had very nice investment portfolio this year, and our market value increased 7.5% while continuing to distribute our scholarships. I might add that we had our 4th largest gift in the endowment fund history. The estate of Betty Phillips came in at almost $500,000, and that's now the contributions, the actual contributions since the fund was started back in 1937 have amounted to $8.8 million. We, through the fund, support 400 scholarships. We help every valedictorian at West Virginia High School who wants to attend West Virginia University, and we also support 20 high school student body presidents with scholarships through the fund. We've had several open houses during the year. We have an annual open house in August to bring all the scholars back and introduce them to the university. And I do want to mention, I think the 3 trustees are here. If they could please stand, please. The chairman of the endowment fund is General Earl E. Anderson. General Anderson. Mr. James C. Gardill of Wheeling. And our newest trustee, Mr. Vaughn L. Kiger of Morgantown. All 3 of these gentlemen have been chairman president of the Alumni Association, so they have a long legacy of being involved with the association as well as the endowment fund. Unfortunately, we were saddened to report the passing of our trustee of 17 years, Buck Harless, and again, Mr. Kiger replaces Mr. Harless in that capacity. John has mentioned the board of directors this coming year, and I will not get into that in detail. We've continued to support athletics through many, many watching parties across the country in our vast network. I won't get into those as well. For the 26th year, we've had pregame events hosting at the Alumni Association, and we've gone to a pregame format called Hail West Virginia. So if you love football and you don't have a parking place because of construction, we can help you with Hail West Virginia and the Alumni Center lot. Our student program initiatives have continued. For 15 years in a row, we've had a senior send-off, and this year was one of our largest with nearly 500 students attending that senior send-off. We continue to have events and programming around our rivalry with Marshall in Charleston, West Virginia, and we'll continue to do those during the year. Also, very much of importance in the D.C. area and on a national scale. For 35 years, we've done the WVU President's Annual Luncheon on Capitol Hill, and that continues to grow. This coming year will be held on July 10th, and we hopefully some of you will be in the room to attend that luncheon, and it will be this year at the National Press Club. Our homecoming, and certainly you would want the Alumni Association to be a part of that. Homecoming was held this past year, October 18th and 19th of 2013. And our outstanding alumnus was Mr. Verl Purdy of Charlotte, North Carolina. And our parade marshal was Darrell Talley. All appreciated that and all enjoyed that. We've also had for 18 years in a row special recognition awards. Betty Pushkar of Morgantown received the Community Service Award. D.J. Gibson of Wilmington, Delaware received the Lifetime Service Award. Brian Baldessari of New Jersey received the Young Alumni Award. Mark Faferi received the Traditions Award. And then Michael Fulton of the D.C. area received the John Nicholas Outstanding Chapter Leader Award. For 28 years in a row, we've held a distinguished alumni ceremony at Erickson Alumni Center. Our new inductees for the class of 2014 included Dr. Vincente Anito Jr. and Dr. Gopala Krishna, Dr. Bernadette Melnick, and Joe Staranka. Our athletic council representatives for the coming year were Mr. David Tyson of Huntington and Charles Price of Columbus, Ohio. For 71 years, we've held the annual golf tournament. It may be the oldest running golf tournament in the state of West Virginia. We've also made that a money raiser with more than $10,000 raised to help support scholarships there. Marmaduke Dent, the founder of the Alumni Association, we have a fund for sustaining support with his name on it. For 18 years in a row, we've done a benefit dinner, and that created $20,000 of new funds for us to support programming. The Order of Vandalia, which we hold the luncheon, and part of that will be conducted just in a few more minutes. And those inductees this year are Barbara Bean of Bridgeport, former board member, Dr. Kenneth Carvel of Morgantown, Patricia Johnston of Beckley, Doug Vanskoy, a former chairman of the Alumni Association, and Bernard Westfall. We've had a great time with networking and outreach during the year, and I won't get into all those, but we continue to expand that. You've heard me saying about New Horizons internationally. We also are in the process revitalizing chapters across the country in Los Angeles, California, Charlottesville, Virginia, Hilton Head, South Carolina, upstate South Carolina, and New River. And that's our first West Virginia new chapter in a long time, and then Potomac Highlands, which represents Hardy, Grant, and Pendleton counties. We had game watches across the country. Again, it's numerous for me to say, but we had 39 chapters who were involved in game watches throughout the year. We've had great support from our Young Alumni Network that we're continuing to develop. To help train our chapter leaders across the country, we had our 17th annual Alumni Leaders Institute this past April, with nearly 80 alumni from 16 states and 4 constituent groups attending that. Our chapter activities, again, are too numerous to mention. I will not go into the litany of those that have been held for many, many years. We did have 23 chapters do golf tournaments and support their own scholarships in the past year. That was also encouraging as well. I want to get into merchandising. We continue to get additional revenues through a credit card program through Nationwide Bank, and that's a fairly new program, having been a part of the Nationwide system, the credit card system, for only 2 years. Again, we had 4,000 directories sold during the past year. It was a historic year for us in that. And we've also developed a class ring program that supports the Mountaineer that supports the Mountaineer Parents Club and the kinds of things they do. Athletic travel was in full-fledged. We've done several athletic travel programs, including the one to Oklahoma. We have future trips, and I hope you'll take advantage of this, to our very first kickoff game with Alabama in Atlanta, and hopefully we'll see many of you there. We had some outstanding educational travel trips abroad through Go Next. We had 3 of those. And we also, under the licensing brand, we've done motor vehicles plates, license plates, in, of course, the state of West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, Delaware, and now we're trying to do a new affinity license plate in North Carolina. We do, again, variety of things, insurance programs that I won't get into. And of particular note, and Jonathan Hollyfield always reminds me of this, we have one of the great brands of all time. We know that with the Flying WV, and this is the 34th anniversary that WVU has taken advantage and benefited that wonderful brand of the Flying WV logo. It's also one of the top 10 most recognized university logos in the nation. We think it may even be one of the top 5. Our wonderful facility here at Erickson Alumni Center, we've completed that for the 5th full year of operating the current facility. It's a 48,000 square foot facility. It is truly the gateway to campus for many, many conferences and many, many meetings. Our official opening was back in 2008 on October 23rd. If you count everything we've done here at the Alumni Center in terms of 2-person meetings all the way up to 500-person banquets, we've actually encountered 1,069 events this past year. We have a great food service operation through University Dining Services. We continue to have a full-time executive chef, and he has been a Scott Spiker. He's been with us since the inception of the building. Just a few noteworthy things we've done to improve this facility. We always want to keep it fresh. During the past year, we installed synthetic turf in the courtyard, and now it's being used more than ever for wedding receptions and wedding ceremonies. We've completed waterproofing to support the concrete plaza surface outside the courtyard area. We installed a Hail West Virginia commemorative banner as you come in, very attractive. We've installed a new scholars wall through the gift of Jim Cavaney, and we appreciate Dr. Cavaney and his gift. We've also placed new granite benches and new lighting with the Alan Zuccari Alumni Wall. We've completed capital campaign projects of ballroom panels to help support that. The panels are getting a little bit old. We've installed and furnished the Becker Library and the Mountain Room, and we've revamped the Donors Wall as well. And we've also, to save some of our mementos, we've established a UV protectant film in the Ruby Loggia area. So we've enjoyed a successful business year at the Alumni Center, having collected $1.67 million in revenues. Just to briefly mean something, or to say something about communications, it never has been better under the leadership of our Assistant Director, Tara Curtis. She is the Director of Communication. Again, we've had several initiatives electronically in the current year. 62 electronic pieces actually were sent, 43 segmented messages in that total. We have put 2.2 million messages out to alumni and friends in the past year, another record. Social media, we continue to be very strong there on our social media sites. We're also going to take a look at the Alumni Association website, and it's in the process of being redesigned. The WVU magazine continues to be in effect, and we work on that with the Office of University Relations, and we actually send out more than 130,000 copies of the magazine. All of you should be or have received a WVU magazine in this past week. Under resource development, I want to mention that we have done very, very well in the local State of Mind campaign, and we've achieved a $13.5 million goal of new money raised. We have a resource development committee that continues to support our Director of Development, Nicole Riggleman. We also want to mention that the Erickson Alumni Center to date, we started this with a bond a debt of $8.4 million, and over the past 3 or 4 years we've gotten that down to $3.6 million. So we're effectively cutting the debt of the building. We actually have $580,000 in cash deposits in the foundation to support lowering that debt, and we've had more than 700 donors to the Erickson Alumni Center. So, Mr. Chairman, submitted herewith for the minutes of the 141st Annual Business Meeting are the financial statements for the year ended June 30th, 2013, conducted by Gibbons and Kawash, who are CPAs out of Charleston, West Virginia. The statement certifies total current assets of $22,700,000. Thank you for the opportunity of letting me give this report. I appreciate that. And let's go Mountaineers.